Good morning, good Erev Shabbos. Special greetings to our soldiers at Fort Jackson, to everybody watching our video. The Torah describes two acts of creation. The first is God's creation of the universe in the book of Genesis. The second is the Jewish people, the Israelites' creation of the Mishkan, a portable sanctuary in the wilderness, described at length in this week's Torah portion and the next few portions. The parallels are unmistakable. In both, we encounter the same key phrases. Just as God completed the work of creation, so too Moses completed the work of the Mishkan. Just as God blessed the universe, so too God blessed. The same language is mirrored in both stories. It is as if the Torah is telling us, hey, what was creation for God, the Mishkan was for the Jewish people. Okay, but hold on a second. The creation of the universe takes 34 verses. The construction of the Mishkan takes hundreds. Now, you got to be wondering, why devote more space to a small, portable, temporary sanctuary than the creation of the entire universe, the vast cosmos? Because Torah is not man's book about God. It is God's book about us. Look, it's easy for God to create a home for human beings. What is difficult and really profound is for the human being to create a home for God. That is the drama of the Mishkan. When God first created the world, he wanted a home, a dwelling place in the lower worlds. But after the sins of Adam and subsequent generations, the divine presence withdrew. The Mishkan is the return, the restoration of the original closeness between God and man. When the tabernacle was built, God said, I have come to my garden. The relationship was renewed. But how does it work? Well, Jewish mystics teach that for us to have free will, God had to practice self-limitation. Because if God was revealed and you saw God everywhere all the time, we would not be independent. We had have no free will. So God withdraws into hiddenness. In fact, the Hebrew word for universe, olam, is related to the other Hebrew word, ne'elam, which means hidden. But if God is hidden, then where do we meet God? How do we encounter him? Well, the answer is holiness, a designated meeting place between heaven and earth. In time, that holiness is called Shabbat. In people, it is called the Israelites. In space, it is the Mishkan. As Shabbat is to time, so the tabernacle was to space. In the everyday world, God makes space for us. In the holy, we make space for God. Creation was God making space for humanity. The Mishkan was humanity making space for God. And that remains our task till today, to build lives, homes, and communities where the divine presence feels welcome. Not because we fill the space with ourselves, but because we create room for something higher. That is the enduring message of the Mishkan. Holiness begins when we learn to make space for God. Build something holy this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.